just remember that local and Commonwealth or state elections matter. There's more to government than the President of the United States.
Voters turned out across the Commonwealth to make their voices heard in Virginia's legislative elections.
Results are coming into the Fox 5 newsroom on this election night 2023.
It is down to the wire, and the balance of power could shift in Richmond. Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald is tracking the results from the newsroom. Fitz.
Already, this is looking like a big night for the Democrats in Virginia. They have already been able to maintain control of the Virginia State Senate. And right now, as we hit the 11 o'clock mark, they appear on the verge of taking control of the House of Delegates. Let's give you the balance of power as it stands right now. This is in the House of Delegates, 46% for the Democrats, 40% for the Republicans. Now, our unofficial tally right now has Democrats at a 50-seat mark with 46 Republicans. However, there are still 4 races where they have not been decided yet. They appear to be going their way on the Democratic side, so we will continue to track that right now. Let's look at the state Senate. This was already under Democratic control. It appears to remain that way tonight. Even though you're seeing 20-16 right now, it appears already that the Democrats have held on to their majority in the Virginia State Senate. All right, let's call some races here. Locally, in the 31st Senate District, that is Loudoun County tonight, Fox 5 declaring Russell Perry the winner in that race over Republican Juan Pablo Segura. Russell Perry coming in at 53% to Pablo Segura's 47%. We'll move on to the 27th Senate District. Now, this was an interesting one in the Frederick-Stafford area. It's a 3-way race. Republican Tara Durant versus Democrat Joel Griffin and Independent Monica Gary tonight with 92% of this vote in right now. Durant is out in the lead right now. Let's go over to the 65th House District. That's in Stafford and Spotsylvania County. Right now, it appears that Josh Cole, the Democrat in that race, is leading Lee Peters. But remember, this is going to be a key tonight as the Democrats appear on the verge of possibly being able to take control of the House of Delegates away from the Republican Party. Want to mention also in the Commonwealth's attorney race in Loudoun County, the incumbent Buddha Bitterai, in a fight for her political life tonight. The Republican in that race, R.D. Anderson, appears to have drawn even with Bitterai, who is in the incumbent in that race. That's one we're going to continue to track as this evening goes on.
And Fitz, as we continue to track these results that are coming in tonight at this hour, we know that Governor Glenn Youngkin campaigned hard across the Commonwealth, trying to rally Republicans. So is he a weaker GOP governor tonight?
Probably that would be a fair assessment of it, Kevin. Look, Kenneth, most times governors do not get this involved in General Assembly races because it goes bad. You don't want that on you, especially if you're somebody who's thinking about maybe running for president. And Glenn Youngkin did not only get involved, he campaigned hard, not only individually for these candidates, but also trying to get Republican voters themselves to vote early. That's been a big problem in the Republican Party over the last couple of years, and Republicans have suffered in elections because of that. He launched this Verify Your Vote campaign. Although he crisscrossed the state on this, it does not appear tonight to have delivered the result that Governor Glenn Youngkin was seeking, and that would have been a trifecta: control of the state Senate, control of the House of Delegates, and of course, Glenn Youngkin being the Republican governor. That appears elusive for Glenn Youngkin tonight, Kevin.